Hello everyone, this is Abhay Sharma and welcome to another tutorial from Thinking Penguin. Actually, this tutorial is requested by Dilson Abraham. I hope I am pronouncing the name correctly. If not, then I apologize. He commented on my previous tutorial and shared a link with me and asked me how to create something like this. Initially, I thought it's pretty simple, should I create a tutorial on that? But later I realized that this is one of the little things that many users coming from layer-based compositing background struggles to figure out in Fusion. How to create ease in and ease out, or how to create stroke animations, or how to do simple tracking. So I thought, let's do it. First of all, let's give a big shout out to beachfrontbroll.com, who has provided this lovely video clip which is under Creative Commons license. If you want this clip, then go to the beachfrontbroll.com and download. Alright, so you can see I have created 3 elements which are basically same things, just few elements added or removed. Don't bother about these boxes, they are just different ways of creating overshoot animation, which I will explain it later. Okay, so let's get started. But before that, let me purge this comp memory. Create a new composition. I'm going to change the timeline range to 125, which is 124 if you start the counting from 0. Let's change the composition settings. Go to File, Preferences, and choose your composition and change the frame size or frame rate. You can make these values default values by changing the global settings if you want, but frankly doesn't matter because Fusion is resolution independent. I'm also going to change the default layout to this. Everything looks fine, but modifiers panel bothers me in this position, so let me stick it with tools panel. Let's create a background tool. Black color is fine, no problem. Let's create another background tool and change the color to white. Assign an ellipse mask, scale it down and merge it with background 1. Let's change the tools arrangement method to grid, which will make it look organized and nice. Let's scale down this ellipse mask a bit more. Now I'll create a ring by copying and pasting the same ellipse mask, so Ctrl C to copy and Ctrl V to paste. Make it bigger. Turn off solid and increase the border size. You can press the Ctrl key for final control over the slider if you want. Let's make the background transparent by changing the alpha value to 0. And also let's turn off the auto proxy and motion blur and turn on the high quality switch. Save the composition. Alright, now I'm going to create a simple scaling animation. So let's insert a transform tool. You can also animate the merge 1 scale, but I like separate transform tool, so let's give it a simple size animation. Go to frame 20 and right click on the size attribute and choose animate. Go to frame 0 and change the size to 0 as well. In spline editor, you can see a simple Bezier curve, a linear curve has generated. You can change the values by selecting the points and dragging. You can also use your arrow keys as well. Select both keyframes and press the F key to flatten, which will basically gives you a simple ease in and ease out function curve. Let's change the spline editor scrolling method to manual, and let's adjust the preview range by holding the control key plus left mouse dragging. Okay, now I need to create a little bit of bounce effect, or rather overshoot effect. There are so many ways to achieve the same effect. Let me show you the easiest method first. Go to easings.net. You can see here a lot of easing functions. and what we are looking for is this particular ease out elastic curve. Why I said this method easiest, because this is very visual, meaning that if I replicate the same shape in my curve, I'll get the overshoot effect. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go full screen by hitting the F4 function key. Select both points and hit L key to make it linear. It's easy to tweak the shape in linear, and later you can smooth it with Shift plus S key. So let's change the shape to something like this. Select all keyframes and hit Shift S. Hit F4 again, and let's play the animation. Okay, we are very close. Just need to adjust few keyframes, I guess. Select that and adjust it. I'm using the arrow keys, by the way. Alright, now let's say I want to make a preset so that I can use it in the future. Well, you can save this curve as a preset. Just select all the points, right click and choose export all points and save it. Let me show you how you can import it back. So first let's make this curve linear, then right click and choose import spline and choose your preset. That's it. Okay, there are other methods as well which I will show you later in this tutorial. Let's create another ring. I'm going to tweak it a little bit. Okay, something like this. Let's animate the border width. Let's play. Let's also add a scale animation. So I'm going to move these nodes up and add a transform node. Now add a scale animation. Let's play. It's too much overshoot. I'm going to scale it down. Select one button in spline editor. It will only show one curve at a time. Select the right curve. Select these keyframes, and now we can use shape box. Let me find the shape box button. You can also use Shift plus B hotkey. Here it is. Now adjust it the way you want. Hit Shift plus B key again to get out of the shape box. Alright, let's create a line which will come out of the center. So create a background tool and add a paint node. Press Ctrl plus space key and type paint View the paint node and select the polyline stroke tool. Let's create a simple line from the center. Let's tweak some settings to make it look thinner and crisp. Go to Tools panel, or sometimes you won't find it there, so go to Modifiers panel and select the right stroke. Let's open Stroke Controls and Brush Controls. Let's make our stroke thinner and less softer. Don't make it 0% because it will become jagged. Let's merge it with the circles. You can see because I need to make the incoming background to transparent, so select that and change the alpha value to 0. I'm going to zoom in and match the stroke point to center, something like this. I'm gonna make this stroke a little bit thicker. Alright, let's animate the stroke, so go to Stroke Controls and we need to animate the right on end attribute, as you can see. Okay, so let's set a keyframe on frame 20, animate, go to frame 0 and change the value to 0. Alright, so we got the animation curve in Spline Editor. Hit F to flatten keyframes, play. Let me show you another way to assign different easing function on this curve. So select both keyframes, right click and choose ease. You can see you have different presets to choose from. If you are not sure what each function does, then choose dialog. And here you can see visually what each function looks like. I'm going to choose out cubic and you will get a nice ease out curve. Let's see everything. Need to match the timing, so go to the frame where you want the stroke animation to start. Select both keyframes and move either by mouse or arrow keys. I'm trying to move it with my arrow keys, but sometimes it doesn't work. Maybe it's a bug on Linux. So let's use our timeline to move keyframes. I'll turn on some filters, show only animated tools in current time range and only selected tools. Now let's select the paint node, click on this triangle, select both keyframes and move. Alright, I think I need to tweak the curve for stroke animation, but we'll do that later. Let's do tracking first, so import the footage. Okay. Add a tracker node. I will create a separate tutorial on tracking in future, so right now just do whatever I'm doing because it's a big topic and will not fit in this tutorial. Just move this point to wherever you want to track a portion in the video. It has two parts. The inner rectangle defines the pattern, which should not change throughout the video. If it changes, then it will stop tracking. The outer rectangle is search box, which searches for the pattern that you defined in every frame. Basically, it means that if your pattern is not moving too much, then small search box will work. But if it's moving too much, then you have to make the search box bigger accordingly. Okay, I did it again. Well, in ideal situation, before defining a track point, you should be on frame 0. But in this case, as you can see, I am on frame 110. but no problem. I will click on track forward from current frame, then I'll come back and track backward from current frame. Alright, we are done with tracking. Let's merge our callout design element to this footage. Let's assign the tracking data to our element. Insert a transform node. Right click in the center, and but before that, let's rename our tracker to something meaningful. Select the tracker node and hit F2. Okay, right click on the transform center, connect to, leave track 1, offset position. I'm going to scale it down a little bit. Let's play. Alright, so far so good. Let's create rest of the elements. I'm going to create a rectangular stroke, so create a background node and add a paint node. Click on this polyline stroke, right click in the center and go to polyline stroke to polyline, create rectangle, and then go to modifiers panel, open brush controls and tweak the settings. Select all the points. You can use shape box here also. Turn on guides and let's adjust it. Let's merge it with our design element. Select the background and make it transparent. Let's match the position. That's a problem. I'm going to insert a transform tool here. Move it in the corner. Now let's adjust our rectangle. But as you can see, my elements have changed its position as well. So I'm going to insert one more transform right before the tracker transform. And let's move it back where it was before. Let's play. I think I should make the line a little bit smaller. Match the rectangle with the stroke. And let's also animate the stroke. So I have another problem. The stroke animation should start from the bottom left corner so that it looks unified, but it's starting from the top left corner. To fix this, let's rotate the stroke 90 degrees and adjust it accordingly. Let's animate. Go to Spline Editor. Select both keyframes and hit F. Let me show you a different way to controlling the easing of the curves. Right click and choose Ease In Out. This method is based on incoming velocity, outgoing velocity method. So I'm going to enter some magic numbers here. Let's play it. Let's match the timing of these two elements. Wow, again, it's a very annoying bug. Okay, let's try to move it in Spline Editor. I haven't installed a discrete graphics card in this machine, so it might be an issue. Intel graphics, not a good idea. Let me adjust few settings. Something is not right. Let me try to make it more cohesive. You guys can do it better than me. I'll leave up to you. Moving on. Let's add a text element. Call it whatever you want. And merge it. Give a simple animation. Turn off guides. Let's see how it looks like. It's good, but I should offset this element a second after the video starts. Let's open our timeline. Turn off selected button and you'll see all the layers with animation. Let's group these nodes. It will make our life easier to work in timeline. Oops, one node left out. Undo. Select all nodes and group again. Click on this minus button and it will unfold all the layers. Then select these keyframes and move it on the frame 25. Okay, that looks nice. Let's create some variations. Let's say I want a rectangular box instead of a stroke line. And if I replace these nodes, I'll get a different element. Okay, let's go back to our previous composition and I'll show you some other stuff. In this example, basically I have replaced the rectangle with an ellipse. Then I used a duplicate node and animated the angle with an expression. If you're coming from After Effects background, that will feel very similar because it is the same thing, except the valuation of time here is based on per frame instead of per second. So time in Fusion is faster. Let's quickly take a look at various ways to create overshoot effect. This first one is using a gradient modifier. So if I select this transform tool and go to control panel, I have applied a gradient modifier on this property. And if you come to the modifiers panel, you will see that I have created some color points, color inputs, but I didn't change the color, I have just changed the values. And then I have animated the gradient offset. You can very easily tweak a particular look if you want visually. Let's look at another method. In this example, I have used expressions. If you select the transform tool and go to control panel, you can see I have applied a simple overshoot expression on size attribute. Unfortunately, there is not enough attention given to expression module in Fusion. I don't even find the official manual page on expression. That sucks. The third method is using scripts. In this case, I'm using Lua script, and it's a in tool script. It's been triggered at frame 40. The script is very raw, don't pay attention to this. This is just for example, and I'm very new to Lua scripting, frankly. But it definitely gives you much more power than expressions, and this could be a reason why expressions are so obsolete in Fusion. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for this tutorial. I hope it helped you to understand some of the things in Fusion. Just keep in mind that node based workflow is very unique to every person. So it's not necessary that my way is the correct way. I may be doing things the wrong way. I definitely like to hear your feedbacks on this. Anyway, thanks for watching this tutorial. If you liked it, then please subscribe, like, comment and share. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.